Hello and one and all. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. If you love green like I do, then hope you're having a good time. This book here is green. Grogu's green. Got a bunch of other green stuff. I've got a green teddy bear there. When I was had since I was born. um, hope you enjoy the Irish Stout. If you drink it, that's up to you whether you want to. I have the best parents in the world, so I'm allowed. And I'm 23, so I'm allowed. Uh, yeah, I'm responsible for it. Yeah, I think so. Um, so guys, that's not what we're here for. I'm here to announce a new segment. If you guys saw my Chris Stuckman YouTube video where I debated whether he's a film critic or not. He's not a film critic anymore, or just other aspects of my opinion on the situation with him. I announced that I am going to do a new movie reviewing segment. If you guys remember on Chris Duckman's channel, he used to do Hilariosity reviews, where he would pick a bad movie that's an atrocity, and they were some of his most viewed YouTube videos. I mean, they were for sure his most viewed YouTube videos. I mean, the Batman and Robin one in particular, I really like myself. And hey, with this new segment, that is going to be related to that. I'm going to call this segment Guilty Pleasure. Why, you may ask? Well, I take it from the fact that if to those of you who don't know what guilty pleasure is, a lot of you probably might know, but just in case there's people out there that don't know, basically you look at something, not only a movie, a TV show, a game, or whatever it is you're into now these days. You look at something that is so bad, you know it's bad, but it can be quite entertaining at the same time. Um, and that is probably the best way to sum up, and that's how you call it a guilty pleasure. How I am gonna call my movie reviewing segment guilty pleasure. Um, so basically, I use the word guilty. I'm feeling guilty talking about this movie. I know the movie's bad. I feel a bit guilty about talking about the movie, but I'm having the pleasure to talk about this movie because I myself can have a fun time with the movie, even though I know the movie itself is bad. So I have a couple of movies in mind. Um, if you follow the nostalgia critic Doug Walker, he hasn't been good lately. I haven't seen him much. I wouldn't regularly watch him as much as I would have with Stuckman, but he tends to review everything, whether it's a good movie or bad movie, So there's going to be some movies that I want to talk about that I haven't seen people talk about, and there will be, of course, some movies that I do want to talk about that other people have talked about. So a movie is so bad, but I have to have the energy to talk about this movie, you know, and that's why I'm calling it guilty pleasure. I'm feeling guilty talking about this movie because I know it's bad, but I'm having the pleasure to talk about this movie because I find enjoyment aspects. So technically, if I didn't review Batman and Robin, yeah, I perhaps would, even though that movie is terrible, but it is enjoyable in some way. Or perhaps Die Another Day, the fourth and final Pierce Brosnan Bond film. Speaking of Irish, um, you know, that movie is also terrible, but it can be in some way in a guilty pleasure format where you know it's terrible, but there's enjoyable aspects. Along with some other Bond films. I don't hate a lot of Bond films, it's a big franchise for me that I love. Um, So I don't know how massive this series is going to be. It's definitely not going to be as big as much as my regular movie reviews on my YouTube channel. Um, but I do have another segment which I'll announce later on, probably next month, I think, which probably won't be as big as this new segment which I've announced, and obviously not as big as my regular movie reviews, but I would like to do that in a separate video as well. So this is my first new segment that I'm gonna do. So look forward to my 2 reviews on the Bill Murray Garfield movies. Those are going to be my first ones that I'm going to do. We have a new Garfield film called The Garfield Movie with Chris Pratt. We, of course, have Garfield, and then Garfield 2 or Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties, um, depending on where you're from. They're going to be up very soon, and there's going to be some other bad movies. Again, guys, I don't know how massive or how often I will do this series, but it's going to be a segment that I'm going to do, and I'm very interested to bring it up. If you don't like the idea, fine, I don't care. Stick to my positive movie reviews, I guess. I just thought, why not keep the bad movie reviews separate? And also, guys, it cannot be a movie that's either critically acclaimed or something that is considered good by a lot of people, or that does not have a fresh score on Rotten Tomatoes. It has to have a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes. I got this book from London in probably the biggest Waterstones I've ever been to. This is a brilliant book. So there's all kinds of movies I'd like to talk about that sort of relate to guilty pleasure or bad movie reviews. Yeah, there could be some movies that I'll hate, but I'll have the energy to talk about them. But there'll also be movies that I actually kind of enjoy, but I know they're bad anyway. So what do you guys think of this series? Let me know below in the comments. As always, if you're new to my channel, please feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share this video, and notify that bell before you leave. And as always, until my next video, I shall see you then, and peace.